All right, hello everybody. I'm joined by Tabben. Tell us a bit about yourself, Tabben.
Sure. So my name is Eric. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Sweden.
Okay. Tabben, what are you up to in life at the moment then?
So I've done 2 years of study at university, studying engineering. I'm currently taking a break for working, and the coming autumn I'll be going back to study.
I see. You've not taken a break for practicing Age of Empires. I know out of everyone here, you've probably played the most games between, I think, the tournament being announced and actually making it here.
Well, I've done a lot of work in the past, so I kind of had the opportunity to work less during the last months and been able to play a little bit more, I guess.
Go crazy. And this has worked out really, really well, actually. On the topic of Age of Empires, then, can you tell us a bit about your sort of history, how you found the game, how you found the franchise? I think, you know, all of the Age games mean a lot to us here, but particularly Age of Empires 3. What kept you playing that for so long to get sort of where you are?
Well, I played Age of Empires since I was a kid. I remember playing like Age of Empires 2 when I was really young, but I don't remember much of the game in itself. But then I picked up Age of Empires 3, like early when I was maybe maybe a bit older, like
quite
8
young,
or 9.
right?
Quite young. But I would just play it very casually, like versus the computer. And when me and my friends had computer LAN, we would like meet in someone's basement and play computer.
Did you win all of those? Were you the winner back then? Were you good at Age of Empires when you were 8?
Actually, we wouldn't play much Age of Empires. We would bring it up during the late hours of the night when we were too tired to play like our main game, which was Counter-Strike back then, I think. But yeah, so we would play it mostly for fun, and so I haven't played it much online since just like 2 or 3 years ago.
Fair enough. And back then, did you have a favorite civ? Do you have a favorite civ now, and is it the same? And can you tell us maybe your least favorite civ as well?
Well, I used to play only Russia, like
like a pleb, right?
Yeah. And it's funny because that's the same for a few other people. They used to only play Russia.
Yeah.
But yeah, Russia was my favorite civ.
Okay.
And
is it still your favorite civ?
No, I don't think it's my favorite. I enjoy more of the TAD civs now, like China, India, and a bit of Japan too. But I really enjoy China and India.
Fair enough. I was going to ask you then, if you could make one balance change to the game, completely your decision, or go back in time and tell the developers, the original devs, you know, something about the game now to do or to change differently and completely have it differently, what would that be?
Well, personally, I wouldn't mind removing the Ottomans from the original patch, or the RE patch, as it's known. And I'd probably also tell the developers to like take an extra look on maps and check the balance of the maps, because I feel like that's one of the biggest balance issues of the game.
I think you're right there. Actually, the one biggest thing I think ESOC patch brings to the game is the rebalanced maps. That single-handedly adds the most back to Age of Empires 3. If you could change one thing, that's what I think I would do.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Tabben, there was a time a couple of years ago when you were just a humble captain, but now Tabben's jacked, man. It looks like you're here, you're ready for the tournament, you've been putting the hours in. And I think, you know, we've seen some very impressive performances from you recently, particularly the Two Towns tournament where you won that quite recently, and you defeated Maito in a best-of-9 series. I think that final scoreline was 4-5.
It was, yeah.
So what I want to know is, how do you feel about being the number 8 seed in this tournament? It looks like you're quite prepared. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that if we would have done the seeding right now, maybe it would have been slightly different. But I think like the seed I received, it made sense at the time it was done, because that was before these performances you've just mentioned. So I guess people were a little bit less sure of my strength.
Right. That's interesting, because you've like either way come a long way as a player over the last sort of 2 years. You've really come up to, you know, being a proper top player. I was wondering if you could, you know, tell us how you think you managed to close that gap so quickly, and do you have any advice for perhaps players who also want to, you know, get good?
I would recommend like playing with people slightly above your skill all the time to keep the challenge, but you don't want a too big challenge. If you play versus someone who's very much better, it can be like the opposite. It won't be very motivating, but you want to play versus people who are slightly above your skill, and you want to feel like that you can almost beat them. So you keep trying to stretch your abilities.
So there's no secret formula other than practicing against people who are better than you.
Well, it's also like important to not get too upset when you lose, like, and not try to blame the loss on too much. Rather try to think what went wrong, and also spend time watching recordings of players that are good with a certain civilization, so you can get an idea of different build orders and stuff.
Okay. My final question then is, what were you thinking when the tournament was announced on the forums, when you signed up, when you saw, oh my goodness, this is actually happening? And how does it feel to have made it to the LAN and actually be playing in a LAN tournament?
Well, when I saw the announcement for the LAN, I was very excited, and it felt kind of unreal because I've only played the game like online or in a competitive environment for 2 or 3 years or something like that, but some people have played it for much longer, and there hasn't been a LAN in so long time. So I felt like it was great news, and I felt a bit lucky to have the opportunity to compete
to be playing
well.
At this time, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tabben, for your thoughts, and I wish you the best of luck in the tournament. Actually, one bonus question.
Yes.
I think you have quite a lot of supporters. How do you feel about that? I think you might be one of the favorites.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I feel like there are many popular players between the 8 of us, but yeah, I do have some supporters, and I hope I can deliver my best performance for them.
Good luck, Tabben.
Thank you very much.